Okay.
So we're recording now? You're just going to chill there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. Hi there. Welcome to, I guess, what would be the first video of this channel. It's going to be a cooking show, or at least attempt to be. Today, we're going to do egg rolls. Something simple, yet it can be a little bit difficult for people. Now, I've also decided to make it gluten-free to show that it is possible, as well as a regular gluten version. Mostly because my boyfriend, he's celiac, so I've had to relearn how to cook, how to make everything, really. So we're going to get started here. For cabbage rolls, you are going to need, obviously, a cabbage. Buy it fresh instead of the pre-grated that you can buy in a bag, which is for coleslaw. This was about $2, $2.50. The packages for coleslaw are around the same price, and you get less. And you have no idea how old it is. Fresh is better. We're going to use bean sprouts. They're in the bowl here. You may see some water here in the bottom. That's because I had to rinse them off to make sure that there were no stones in them. Sometimes you can find stones in with bean sprouts. It's kind of hard on the teeth. Going to add carrots and onions. Pretty basic. Now, if you go online and you search around for different recipes, you'll find that pretty much every recipe has a different list of ingredients. So you can pretty much put absolutely anything you want into it in terms of vegetables and even meat. Typically, you'll find ground pork. In ours, we're going to actually be doing a blend of ground chicken and ground beef. And, fresh ginger. Always use fresh if you can get your hands on it. It's going to taste better. Okay, so let's start off and let's get the cabbage out of the way. First thing to do, peel off the outer layers. Typically they're dirty, they're not very good for cooking. There we go. Okay. So that's just going to be scrap. Just put that there. Now you want to cut the cabbage in half. What? Want to zoom in? Let me know when you get that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This here is the core. You'll want to cut that out. You can do that simply by a basic V. Little mini pyramid. Okay. Actually, before I go on, I should really tie my hair back. So one downside, the long hair, you just have to make sure it's out of the way. And mine is so very long. Okay. Now, some people ask, well, why would you bother with making egg rolls at home? Well, it is cheaper than buying them. You know precisely what you're getting. Ingredients-wise, you can control everything. And they can be fresh, and they can still be frozen, like the kind you can buy in the grocery store. So, anyways, for the cabbage, you want to slice it as thin as possible. Just put it into the bowl with the bean sprouts. We're going to be cooking all of that later, along with the meat. Now, you don't actually have to cook anything before putting it all together. You can put it all together raw and still deep fry it or bake it. yes, you can bake egg rolls. And it will still come out fine. However, I prefer to just cook it off so that, one, it's safe, two, when I'm in a rush, I could just grab a frozen one, throw it into a bag or something like that, and not have to worry about it being raw or anything like that, and eat it that way. Kind of nasty, but don't have to worry about any kind of poisonings that way. I'm not going to be doing the entire cabbage. However, you can do just half a cabbage. I do recommend that if you're going to take the time to make cabbage rolls, it's not like it takes a huge amount of time. But what's wrong with making way too many? What's wrong with having extra on hand and then tossing them in the freezer into meal-sized portions and pull it out as you need it? Pull it out in 5 months from now. It's still going to be good. Actually, reading recently about the storage of meat on the USDA site. Cutting out the car again here. And they say if you can maintain a proper temperature, which I would have to Google again. Actually, Mike, can you look that up right now? Probably not, but we'll see if we can get the actual temperature. I think it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. But if that is maintained properly, meat, according to the USDA, can be stored indefinitely in the freezer. The only thing that you have to worry about is quality. It's probably going to taste like crap after 5 years, but apparently it's not that dangerous.
Zero degrees Fahrenheit.
0 degrees Fahrenheit? Okay, my bad, not 40, 0. If you can maintain 0 degrees Fahrenheit, it is perfectly safe. So if you have a deep freeze that goes down that low, do it. If you're able to put meat into a airtight packaging, do that as well. You will increase the length of the freshness. What's that in Celsius? I'm going to give it to Google it. Google. Google Celsius. I'm trying to drag him into these videos a little bit. You know, so there's like 2 of us. He can be totally off camera. That's cool.
Minus 17.
Minus 17 degrees Celsius. 0 Fahrenheit. Yeah, deep freeze should be able to hit that, no problem. One of those deep freeze chests. Onions. A lot of people have a problem in peeling onions. There are so many tricks out there. Various types. One of the best things that I ever heard from a cooking show was, whatever trick you use, you can use it. But the faster you get it done, the faster it's over. So, just cutting the onion in half, then we're going to do the same thing with the onion that we did with the cabbage here. As thin as you can. There we go. Yeah, I'm just throwing it all into one bowl here. Oh yeah, these onions are gonna get to me. I may be crying in my first video. It's been really warm here. The warmer it is, the more the fumes come off the onions, the more that you have to cry to get rid of the sulfuric acid. Ooh. Come on. Oh, this one's being a pain. I am trying to do this as quickly as possible. I really want to try and make videos, shows the cooking, that doesn't have, you know, like, okay, here I am going to show you how to cut half an onion, and then lo and behold, pull out a bowl that has, you know, both onions, or the other 1.5 onions, already done. I'd rather let you see just how long it can take. Now, I was thinking about this. It's not difficult to, to do a lot of recipes. Egg rolls are pretty easy. But if you're not used to cooking, that's going to be hard as hell. Plain simple. However, the more that you take the time, maybe you set aside one weekend a month, one weekend every 2 weeks, one day, one something, and you start doing this kind of stuff. Tears. There we go. It got to me finally. But the more that you set aside time to do this, the easier it's going to get, the faster you're going to be, the more confident you're going to be. My life is terrible. I'm crying. Okay, here we go. Now the carrots. So the ginger there. Try and do this. Trimming off the ends. Now, when I have guests, I always peel the skin off the carrots. When I'm cooking for myself or cooking for Mike and myself, I usually don't bother. Lazy. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to kill you. It's okay to be lazy. But for guests, I always go the extra effort. So, this bowl is too full. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to make a mess. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to peel the skin off. What I'm doing, instead of shredding it or slicing it or whatever, I'm using a peeler to create the thickness that I want for my egg rolls. Very quickly. Easy. The great thing about this is, if you happen to have kids, you can get them helping you in making the egg rolls. You can do the chopping, because, you know, it's a sharp knife and probably not a good idea for kids. But they can do the carrots. It's a great mess. You can have some fun. Do it at the table. I'm hungry. So for this much cabbage and stuff, I'm actually using 4 carrots.